Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video let's talk about some of the tips, tricks and features of the camera on the OnePlus 8. So OnePlus 8 comes with a triple rear camera. In fact, this has the Sony IMX586 sensor. There is an ultra wide angle camera and a macro sensor, and we have a 16 megapixel punch hole camera on the front panel. So that's the camera setup. Now if you go to the camera UI, you can see this camera UI is kind of different or slightly refreshed UI. You can see that all the options are available here. You can see that slow motion, then time lapse, photo, video, portrait, nightscape, pro mode, all these options are included. And at the top, if you go here, you can see additional options, timer, flash option. So let's see what all features it offers. So if you go to the photo mode, we have the option of timer and flash. So those are self-explanatory. Here you can see 12 megapixel mentioned here. So if you click the 12 megapixel, you get the option to enable 48 megapixel. So this has the 48 megapixel sensor, the Sony IMX586 sensor. So you can enable 48 megapixel shots with this. So you can see that now it's 48 megapixel. So remember, when you turn on the 48 megapixel mode, the image will have higher resolution or image size, and it will be closer to 15 MB in size compared to 4 or 5 MB for the regular photos. Now there is also macro mode. So if you want to toggle the macro mode, you can turn it on here. You can take some close-up shots or macro photos with the macro mode turned on. Now here you have the option of additional filters. You can see there is black and white mode, and a few other modes are also included in the filter. So those are the options available here. So there you go. So now next let's see here. You can see at the bottom we have these three icons. So one is the option to go to the ultra wide angle mode. So this is the ultra wide angle mode, this is the normal mode, and this is the 2x digital zoom. So these are the options available here. Now you also see the option of Google Lens here. You can scan objects and Google Lens will identify them. So that's the option available here. Now next, if you go to video recording, so here we have super stable mode on. So there is a super stable mode. So here you can see super stable mode. You can turn this on, and what it does is it takes videos in really good stabilization. So super stable mode is available here. Now if you go to settings, we have some useful option. One is the ultra short HDR option. Make sure you turn this on. So this will get you some really good HDR shots. Then we have the video resolution. So here there are lots of options. When we did the camera review, we mentioned that it has 1080p at 30 and 60 fps, 4K at 30 and 60 fps, then 4K at 21:9 aspect ratio, and 4K 60 fps at 21:9 aspect ratio. So these are some really useful options, and remember, all the options are supported by either electronic image stabilization or optical image stabilization. So you have these options. Then if you go to slow motion, we have 1080p at 240 fps and 720 at 480 fps. So these are the video resolution options. Now here another option is custom modes. So what does custom mode do here? So if you select the custom mode, you can actually configure this. Let's just come back to the main UI. So you can see here there are options: photos, portrait mode, nightscape, pro mode. So these can be configured. Actually what should come here, that can be configured from the settings. So if you go here and custom modes, so you can see here you can just drag and change them. For example, I'll just change you can't actually change video and photo, but you can go with portrait. So let's just take move portrait to near to the video. So just before video we have moved portrait, and we have moved slow motion from here top to the bottom section. So that's the change we have done. So that's the custom mode change. Now if you go back and you can see that slow motion has gone to this side and portrait have come here. So you can also delete items from here. So that's basically configuring the app and the option. So that is really good option, because you may not want a lot of options here. So you can basically configure them. Then going back to the settings, so here there is another option called ultra wide lens correction. This is again very important because ultra wide lenses generally tend to have distortion. So you can correct those distortion using this option included. So those are the options. Now if you're taking extremely low light captures, we suggest you to go with the nightscape mode, and nightscape is available for ultra wide as well as the regular lens. So you can take really good night shots with that. Then finally you have the pro mode. In the Pro mode, you can actually configure ISO, white balance, exposure, shutter speed, and all those things can be configured at the bottom. Then on the top you can save images in either JPEG 48 megapixel, and RAW format is there. So these are some options available in the main camera. So these are some really useful options in the camera UI. So if you have the camera, do try out these options. There are lots of options to try out. And now if you want the camera review, we have already posted the camera review of the OnePlus 8. So you can check out that video. It's definitely improved when compared to the OnePlus 7T. So that's it for this video. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.